Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Beneath the Surface. Today we'll be discussing multiculturalism and how we can all become one ummah. Joining us today is Councillor Kareem Marika from the Labour Party. Thank you very much for joining us today. I would like to start off with, can you please explain to us what multiculturalism means?
Multiculturalism means all the faiths, all the community getting together as one ummah, one unit, and going forward with one voice.
In Harrow, it's one of the biggest and diverse ethnic groups and multi-faith community. Does the community have dialogue? Does everyone communicate? Or is every ethnic group and religion just in their separate bubbles?
No, they do communicate, particularly because diversity is respected, particularly in the political party which I am into, and Harrow particularly because of the religiously diverse, their voice is heard. There's no differentiation, and in mayor's office even, mayor as a role respect the diversity. One of the events are happening under one sky, which if you have the privilege, happy to come in, you could see that is to respect all communities in that event. That was going to be demolished, but our leader, the group leader, which I am in, kept on, and which is a great thing for the community.
How important is for ethnic dialogue?
It's because to hear their voice, because it is strong. If that community is strong, they can really raise their voice. But the problem is within this community, if there is little pockets where they want to be, then that is a problem. That is a problem. So the different community should understand to listen to one person and move on. Within their community, you have one, and then work as one community of Harrow. That is my picture for everybody. Harrow is one community, different faiths, but one community. That is the way we have to respect.
Can you tell us why you decided to join the Interfaith Council?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. I joined because I went to Palestine. I had the privilege of going, and I went with the ex-MP for Battersea, Martin Linton. He is one of the person who raises his voice for Palestine. He takes groups, and I did go, and I saw to my own eyes a lot of things happening. And because when you go there, you could see one of the strongest religions, faith leaders, the Christ, Prophet Muhammad, and the Judaism, all one walking around, and you feel when you walk around, oh my God, I'm here in one of the holiest city, but it is sad, there is no unity. That's why I joined. But because to raise the awareness, being interfaith and respecting each other's faiths will be a unity, and that's why I really, for any interfaith event, I'm there.
You explained to us that in Harrow, many communities and many religions are, uniting, and they're all together. Back in 1917, when the Balfour Agreement took place, you had the Jewish, and you had the Muslims, and you had the Arabs, and you had many different religious people in Palestine. Why do you think that the Jewish people and the Muslim people and the Christians couldn't live together? They couldn't unite, and they had to be their own state.
Yeah, but they say, I don't know that I'm not very much on that subject. I may be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That in Judaism, they say that Masjid al-Aqsa belongs to them. So that's why in the Old Testament or the New Testament, it says in that. That's why for me, that's why the problem is. But my experience, as I said to Palestine, my experience, the people living there feel for one another. But the people who have come from other places and settling down is really making life hard.
Do you think that religious people from different religions can coexist?
Yes, unitily, if they have good communication skills, if they interact to each other very well.
As we can see in Palestine, that isn't the case.
Yes, that's true.
What can the Labour Party do to help them?
Well, Labour Party, as you say, mentioned that and I am in the Labour Party. I didn't want to mention because I wanted to make it like because it's not, end of the day, this is not a political thing. This is for the community to understand. Peace mission is the most important thing. Labour Party, Martin Linton does do Palestine to voice the raise the voice. There was a huge protest, if you know, in the city very recently. We are very, very much there, but we also have a listening, I think, particularly as parties, as politically, they listen to both sides. You understand? So yes. You can't hit one ball. You have to see what is the reason they hit in the ball. So that is the political line they are taking, but there is lot of support from the Labour Party. I can guarantee on that.
Can interfaith dialogue cure the differences and the violence that's actually taking place?
Oh, they could raise the awareness, but again I repeat, it is not who are living there. They try, because end of the day, the Palestinians, they are still living in the old century where they can build their own houses, but they are trying to put legislation, law, to have a land registry and all that. So this is coming into practice in Palestine. This is what I saw. Do you understand? So certain people who are living for long, they know that is their territory, Palestine, but when they come to build houses, they don't like it. In my eyes, this is what I saw. But end of the day, it is sad because they are inherited from the long, but now the legislation, these things coming forward, it's hitting them. But I also saw the dividing wall going through the houses and all. It is sad. It is sad to see what is happening there.
Many people today are saying that the Holocaust is kind of repeating itself, as every odd years, many people, like Israelis, would go into Palestine and kill many, many people. Just like in the summer, over 2,000 civilians have been killed. Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Well, I won't comment much on that because Holocaust is a different story. This is a different story, I'm saying. But I saw in the media that the 3 boys from Israel is not, captured or hostage. They didn't do it. And if that is correct, because media can make things. If that is correct, I think that's a disaster. That is one, I could say, genocide killing.
In July, a situation occurred in Sri Lanka. Can you please explain to us what happened?
Well, why? It's a good question because I'm a born Sri Lankan. I'm proud to say I'm a British. I have a lot of descendants in my grandparents. I went to the sports meet of Sri Lankan mosque, which they held. Yeah, and that function which I went, there was bombing and cutting houses, burning houses, text messages were coming, and they were feeling very sad. Then we prayed salawat, then we prayed and said, well, I said, as a councillor, my duty to take this voice heard. So I did gather around with the trustees at the mosque, and I will say, what is the plan you all want to do? So I did raise the awareness with the local MP for West Harrow constituents, because he's sitting member. So, and the whole of Harrow did a signatory petition to hand over to the Parliament. And I must tell you, West Harrow constituent MP did a fantastic job. His name is Garrett Thomas MP. I must tell you, he's a lovely person. He did take this caring. When I had the meeting with the trustees, with the MP, I clearly said, this has to be heard because my mother is buried there, my father is buried there, and I think my roots are still Sri Lankan. I may be a British now, but I feel for that people. So I feel for the community, and I think that was wrong when the whole story, if you see in the media that police, So he took an action. He presented the petition, thanked God, and thanked for the Labour Party, who I think because he's a Labour MP and a corporate MP. He presented it, and I'm very, very grateful for him. I took it very serious. It was 700, 800 signatories. So something like that. I'm just saying to you, taking that as a picture. We all spoke in one language. And likewise, if there is an issue like Palestine, I think all the Muslim Ummah has to get together, not to have pockets and pockets and pockets and leaders, and be one Ummah, one voice, like I say, different community, right? We should be different faith and one community.
But that did take place, like over 150,000 people took to the streets, and they were from many different backgrounds.
I know the petition and the protest, which I know about it, which happened in the central.
So what
London.
more can they do?
Yeah, but this is one. I think it has to be educated, not to say, because I studied with the Jewish community, I studied with the Christian community, because in my family I have intermarriages. I must tell you the truth. But we are very strong Muslims. But we don't preach Islam, because if you really preach Islam, you can't communicate with anybody, because that is Islam. But you have to adjust and give away a leverage and respect your religion and take the peace to the people. Islam is peace. Islam is not killing. Islam is not... peace is the most important thing. Think about the community. As political leaders also, they should know that agenda should be peace. Second, how to save the community and go forward. And community should know the leaders are elected from the community. So they should understand, okay, we don't have a say what we should do.
Many people have done the signatory petition again, and they've done many things, like writing letters to their MPs, to their councillors, but nothing actually took place. The British government stayed very strong with Israel and was even thinking of, helping the Israelis against Palestine. What more?
No, you again it's politics, isn't it? No, because present government, I don't respect that, because they don't feel for anybody's heart. They don't listen. They think they can dictate. That is not the way to go. They should understand to listen why they are complaining, why they are saying this. That then the community, I'm not going to mention, you all should know, if they are not listening, then we have to do something. So it is in community's hand again.
What more can the community do to support people like Palestine, like people in Burma, like people in Iraq and in Sri Lanka? Like, what more can they do to support them in everything?
Yeah, all right. I will tell you the truth. You need to go to people who like a community serving people like me. I'm a community. I'm not going to play politics with this, because faith is involved. I think educate the community to respect all faiths. Peace, take the peace as a logo, and in the curriculum, in the education system, they should put that for the religious studies, and to understand racism should not taken as an agenda to play with the community. And I will not stand for that. I will not stand for that. I repeat.
You mentioned the word peace quite a lot. Can you please define that for us?
Peace is everybody to live unitily, happily, everybody to say their own rights. Now, example, Sri Lanka, we don't have the equal rights. We Muslims don't want a divided country. We Muslims want to live peacefully. I'm talking about Sri Lanka, peacefully, harmoniously, give what you can, do business and make the country develop and give our rights. But certain political people in the Muslim they play politics. So there is no, you know what I mean? So this is what I say. You need to elect a leader for your country, particularly in Sri Lanka, or any country, if they want to have a different party like Muslim or whatever, they need to elect a person who will deliver peace, who will deliver. If the leader is not listening, then the group has to decide to change the constitution and get it forward and change the leader.
But all politicians say that they're going to be delivering peace, that they're going to be helping the community, that they're going to be doing a lot of things. And that's why they are actually elected, because the community believes that this leader is going to be supporting them.
Now I'm going to put myself on that question. I'm going to put myself on that question. The ward I represent doesn't have percentage of Muslims. But I present myself so well. I got elected in 2010. I was I look after the elderly and the vulnerable. And I'm in mental health, right? I did do all that, and I was just elected because I was an activist. I joined the party to raise the voice of the community as well my faith community, as I say, right? But till today, I have done that. I got re-elected, right? This is not my country, my birth country. This is British. But people who come to this country also should understand to live to the British standards. Don't forget your faith. Don't forget your culture. And don't forget to raise your voice up if you have the equality. That is equality, to raise your voice up.
So you believe that people from different...
So I just want to finish what I want to say. I got elected 2010. I got elected 2014. I got elected. And it was a different party. I don't want to mention party names. I got elected. So this is what I'm saying. You want anybody to be representing you as a faith, in all the faith communities, one person. That person should not think, oh, I will benefit this by being the leader of all the Muslim Ummah, like the Palestinians, Iraqi, like all of them, right? Then don't do that. Elect a person who is neutral, who will work for you, who will listen to you. You understand? Yes. That is the way to go forward.
So one of the other ways that you'll be suggesting, I think, is that people who want more to happen, they should also try and elect themselves?
No.
Is that another way?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that all faith communities, like the Palestinians, Iraqis who has come to this country, Sri Lankans, okay, all communities, because we'll talk about these, they should understand that they should live to the standard of the British standards. That means not litter around and, do things which should not be doing, right? Respect it, but do not forget your faith. Do not forget your culture. Do not forget that you have a voice to hear. Do not forget that. But if the all faiths get together and make one community, all the Muslim community as one, not divide Sri Lanka Muslim or Iraq, then it will be a better. Because that person takes the responsibility to raise. Now, if you have a problem in your own birth country, you come to me and say, well, I'm talking for all of the Palestinians or all of the Pakistanis or all of the Somali community. I, as the leader of that ummah, Muslim ummah, should take that respect and take it forward. What can I do? Where to go? What to hear? Not to sleep on the matter. Beneficiary and say, thinking, oh, they have elected me for all the faith ummah, the leader. Not like that. You must say, I am elected there to do a delivery for the faith communities, all the Muslim ummah.
Harrow, as I mentioned before, is one of the biggest boroughs with many different diverse groups, and so is London.
Yeah.
But how does London differ to Harrow itself?
Harrow is one of the religiously diverse borough. Second or third. I'm not sure where we are.
But as is London, but many reports do say that London isn't as multicultural as it should be because
no, I think I don't know your perception on that. For me, I respect you. You go anywhere, you could see Allah's houses are built like nobody's business. We'll take Harrow. Look at the mosque. It's bigger than the Harrow Civic Centre. So we must understand. Wherever we go, we have a shelter and a home. If we couldn't live in our own country and we have given a place to live in the UK, we should be thankful. So this is what, wherever you go, you never forget your faith and the community if you're a community leader, like an elected leader.
How important is multicultural people to communicate with one another?
It's very important, very. Because I don't know what is happening to you if I do know Sri Lanka, because I'm born in Sri Lanka. I have the links.
But you mentioned that you're in the
Interfaith Council, yes.
What type of activities do you do so everyone can get together?
Yeah, we have a lot of events. We are having the big event in November. And if you know Umi Murali, we are having it, and we are having the executive meeting on the 4th of September. I can send you for that event. You can come, you can see all the faces will be there. There will be a presentation happening. So these are the things. It's the future of in life, more than political groups, political groups. Interfaith is the best aspect, I think, community can go forward.
What about the people that don't actually have religion?
Atheist, I do believe, because I have a lot of friends like that. I don't disbelieve what they what they respect. Do you understand? What they have decided to do there. Because when you go for the funerals, I have seen to my own eyes, they rejoice how they have lived for their entire life. So that is what they have chosen to live. But you should not disrespect them. That's them.
Of course, but would they also
But you can't be judgmental, because...
Of course. But are they also invited to these...
Yes, yes, yes.
Do they attend it also?
I don't... yes, one person, yes. I can find out for you. I'm not sure. But I think yes, because all Quakers come, Jewish people come, Baha'i people come. I was myself and Ummi there, Shia and Sunni. My mom is one of the Khattams. You know what is a Khattam? After Mommy died. When Mommy died, during Ramadan time, I had a iftar in the North Harrow Assembly Hall. The Shia and Sunni together, and got the interfaith coming in just to see. Some people were saying certain things, but it didn't matter, because I want to show we are praying to one God and we are united. That's the message I wanted to give. And I'm always doing that. I don't disrespect any religion, because I have all religion married in my family. My sister-in-law is a revert, I must tell you. My brother is better Muslim than any. And I have my cousins married to other faith communities. How they choose to live. But when they speak to me, I always, as cousins say, I preach a little bit of, one day you have to answer. Things in our religion should be given. I only guide my cousins or my family members, but I don't guide any other else, other than they're very close to me. But they should know what is the best for the sake of the kids.
Are you hopeful that the world would ever witness peace anytime soon? I
hope so. I wish that. The way it is going, it is really sad, particularly about what is happening in Palestine. I hope the world leaders take a decision and come to a new legislation, changing the whole system, and say everybody has to live in peace in this world, I repeat, and give, because innocent children died, isn't it? Innocent. And I just want to say, in that aspect, I'm a foster carer. Right, I have the corporate foster carership parent, because I'm an elected councillor. But I don't take that hat to my workplace. But when I care, I care. But this is why we must be very grateful. In England, we respect what is foster caring. We respect the children comes matter. Now see the way the Palestine, the children are died. Think about the sadness that the families have lost their children. I will cry if my son is died. So I'm telling you, the peace, the mission has to go forward. The word peace. It is not protesting and the political top leaders should understand this message.
There are now many orphans in Palestine.
Oh, really?
Is there any way that Londoners can help them?
Of course, I think. I think you need to interact. If there is something you can, I'm happy if they live in Harrow as a councillor to come forward, because I can't do but I can listen to your voice as an activist side of it. But Harrow-wise, I can look into it.
What have you done in Harrow? So, like, type of groups or different training things that we can hopefully take to Palestine ourselves?
Well, I did go to the Palestine things and seen how they run things. One of my experience in my Palestine visit was very sad. People, settlers who have from far in shot to the water tanks. That was sad. I saw the bullet marks and things like that. When I went to Ibrahimia Mosque, I said I experienced a very sad situation. They were selling things, scarves and things like that, and I was told those scarves, straight the money goes to Palestine, and I thought, oh, why not? It's good, isn't it? So when I went, I could see some Palestine people, I don't want to mention the other faith, were talking very, very rude language, and I'm a person who doesn't like rude language. I said, out of order, and then they were scared they will shoot me or whatever. So I said, yeah, if I have to die, I will. I think that is not really appropriate to be rude at a worship place, particularly. And this experience was nasty, and it's sad. You are checked so much. I don't know for what they're checking, because they live in very, very, very hostile situation. Very sad, very sad, very sad.
You mentioned that some people were being very cruel to the Palestinians.
Yes.
Why do you think that these people can be so cruel?
No,
or they will be
again, I repeat,
way?
It's not the living people, the settlers. I repeat, the settlers are the people who are rude, because some people who are passing Jewish officers and things. Oh, sorry, they are just come to this area. So what do you mean? That means so these are my experience, but I generally officially thinks that it is more into I think politically everybody has to get together if you want peace in this, that particularly. I don't think Jewish people are nasty people. They're nice people. They're nice, they're faith-wise. I go to synagogue, I have no problem because I respect them. So they respect me. I think it's both ways, versa versa. So I think education is the most important thing, to respect. We come for a short time to this world, respect each other, guide. That's what I said. I don't want to talk what happened in Holocaust. The Holocaust is a complete different. This issue is a complete different. This has to be tackled in a different way and give the equal rights to the Palestine and get on with it. You can't.
But many times they've said they're going to be giving equal rights, and apparently they've done the solution, a two-way solution, two-state solution, but it's never actually worked.
Yeah, so
many more killings are taking place.
Exactly, and who are dying? Who are dying? Innocents.
Of course.
Not the leader of the party or leader of anybody, no. The innocents and the kids. You saw how many kids. Allah, I can cry. I can cry. I prayed, we are seeing. What can you do? Because I know to lose somebody. You understand? I went to lose my eldest son. I'm sorry, I'm crying. I lost but Alhamdulillah, I survived because I was careful. He was a premature boy. Now today, he's 6'6". He's done well, he studied, I supported. Thanks to the country I'm living in, because they respect. So this is why it is two ways. Respect each other, respect the faiths, do not disrespect anybody.
But
I'm telling you, the message should be, everybody should not become leaders over leaders. It should be certain groups I don't want to get involved, because I feel they want to be the chair and take the name chair, but they are not doing nothing. Jack, they don't do nothing. So I want to end this meeting today with you saying, world is peace. Think about the children who have died. As Palestine side of it. Children, both ways, not only Palestine. I'm talking about the Jewish Jerusalem, Israel too. It's both. Children died, not huge amount. So both ways. Look at the media saying Hamas, now they're saying Hamas. See, if it is true, it is innocents who have died. So Allah, I prayed to God, which my religion is Allah, please don't give peace. looking at it, it's like world is going to end. That's my ummah which I have got. But Allah is great, and they say, all religions say, Almighty creates and Almighty will judge. So give Almighty to take their lives. Allah gives their lives to us in Muslim community. Other community, Almighty give to their lives. They believe in Almighty. So respect that, guide, everybody will be happy.
Why do you think that Arabian countries are not helping people like Palestine?
I don't know. I can't understand. The Muslim, Islamic countries are fighting like, I don't know the answer for that. Sorry. I don't know the answer for that.
If we look at the map back in 1946, Palestine was like what Israel is today, but slowly it became less and less and less, and Palestine is now not even seen as its own country. Like, we would say Palestine sometimes, and people would say, what country are you talking about? Do you mean Israel? Why do you think that Palestine has now been wiped off the map?
Because really, you know that Israel has been, Palestine has been taken little by little by the country's has fights, and they have taken over the Palestine land, and they were settling in. If I put in my simple English, they're settling in, so they have invaded the country. But what I can say is, the political leaders have to get together to sort out this matter. It is not me, or because end of the day, Jewish community is a lovely community, Muslim community is a lovely community. All the communities are nice. It is the leaders who have to decide to put the right legislation, the right law to practice for peace sake.
More than once, I would ask you a question and you would say kind of like put politics to a side and you would focus mainly on the social aspects. What's interested you to go into politics?
Oh, it's a beautiful question. Well, if I tell you the truth, my personal life is very sad. I married and I came to settle in the UK because I divorced. I'm happy, but I became homeless. Fortunately, I don't cry now, but normally I talk about my life. I cry. I'm not sad to say, I come from a lovely family. Sadly, we lost our mother, our family. I am 5 elder sisters and 2 elder brothers. I'm the youngest. I have 3 children, and I went to politics as my local MP was so transparent to tell your issue. Like I said, my issue to him. And he was a person who listened. And then he knew that I was a Sri Lankan, and he asked me, "Where do you know so many so and so?" And I said, "That's my brother-in-law." Then he said, "Why don't you join as an activist for the Labour Party?" From there, I became an activist, and because I come from a very political background, my history is politics in my background, my pedigree. My dad and them were founder members of SWRD, Mr. Bandaranaike, late Mr. Bandaranaike. They were the leaders of Sri Lanka, Dudley Senalai. So my dad and my dad's elder brother were the founder members of this party. And my brother is a political councillor in Kandy district. His name is Councillor Azmin Marika, Kandy. So for me, my brother is in Colombo. He is in the political career. His name is Akbar Marika in Mount Lavinia. So basically, when MP said, "Why don't you?" I thought, "Oh, why not?" And from then, I was more as an activist. And I could see people loved me in the road, and I felt that they can approach me to talk to. They knew that I'm a person who will fight back for the rights, not for unfairness. So from there, I joined the party. And 2006, I contested in Rayners Lane, just as a paper candidate, but I gained votes for the party. It's a strong, different party area, but we didn't work to win the party. But then in 2010, I got elected in elections, and then 2014, I got elected. So I'm hoping to go for only another 4 years, thinking of. I may go on, but I don't know. I became the first Sri Lankan for the woman, Muslim woman, to be elected as for the whole of Europe first. You know, so it's a proud for the Muslim Ummah in a way, but I don't put that hat and walk around. But as you interview me, I thought of telling it to you.
Thank you very much for that.
But I'm happy in future to, if you can get this message, we will all work as one ummah, and I hope this message will go, and I hope people will contact me. We will sit down, we can get together in the mosque or interfaith, and also if you link with me, I can send you the invitation for the 20th of November. That's an interfaith event.
I was just going to say, do you have any last message to say to our Muslim audience today?
MashaAllah, I only can say, pray in whatever religion you believe, and ask peace for the Palestine and Israel. The fights between Israel and Palestine, it has to stop. Has to stop. Has to stop. And I think within our communities, and please, peace is the most important. It's looking like the world is going to end. And I think those children are sad. Sad. Allah has taken. I don't know whether Allah decided that is their life, but it's sad.
Thank you very much for
May
joining
Allah
us
bless you. Thanks for
on the
calling.
show. Thank you.